5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down reality TV's most talked about moments with Amanda Bella. Hey everybody, welcome back to Bella Talks TV. This is Amanda Bella, and we have a pretty good week in store for you. I don't know if you guys have been feeling just overwhelmed with having 4 Housewives back on our TVs all at the same time again. I know I have. I feel like I'm caught up on all of my TV, but do you ever really get caught up? Obviously, there have been things I've had to skip over time because at some point you do have to be like, okay, I have reached my threshold of how much I'm able to take on with these people. Because as you guys know, it's more than just watching TV. So if this is your first time here, which I hope it is. I mean, if you've been with me since day one, of course, I love and appreciate you. But I think I have some new listeners. I mean, I don't even really check my numbers, but they will send me an automated email at the end of the week with my numbers, and it looks like they're going up. So anybody that's here and new for the first time, thank you for being here. And if you're watching me on YouTube, I mean, you're not going to see much this week. I could barely, even just today is like a true day off. I will just say that. And my husband and I like to call them bed days. And I at least was able to get from the bed and onto the couch today. But there was no way that I was going to be able to sit in the office and work today. I had a case of the Mondays today. So here we are, we're on the couch. And I always laugh about our New York apartment because people are like, explain your design aesthetic. I'm like, oh, Kim and Kanye's house, the concrete, minimalist, nothingness mansion. Yeah, it's kind of like my design aesthetic, which is not everybody's favorite, but I'm just very minimalist. So you're not going to see a bunch of tchotchkes everywhere. We have one shelf that we dedicate to stuff at our house, which is actually where I'm looking at right now. So if I were to turn the camera around, that would be behind us. But at least if you're on video, you'll see Candy. She is with us this week, my little co-host. Again, if it's your first time here, Candy is my everything, and she's really my little angel. It's been a busy month of travel and things going on for work related, business travel stuff. And I'm just enjoying a true week of not doing anything this week and not having too much on my plate like I usually do as far as travel. I'm going to be in New York all week, and I have friends coming to visit from Michigan, and I'm just, really trying to take a chance this week to truly relax. And that goes for not just physically within my body, relaxing more, but also mentally trying to just give myself a little bit of a break. I'm always pushing myself to be trying to put out as much content as I possibly can. And also just anxious about staying in the know and being able to just really be involved in this whole community of reality TV content creators, which sounds so random. I'm a little hoarse this week too, which is interesting. I think just from talking a lot, truly. And I also think I'm not warmed up as much as I usually am talking because I have been alone for the last 24 hours. But okay, yeah, I want to get right into it this week. But again, if I have new viewers and new listeners this week, let's just kind of go over the lay of the land here for a moment. So I am Amanda Bella Perio. I run the Instagram page at Bella Talks TV. That's pretty much all I'm able to handle. I've teased about being a TikTok girly, but I'm doing my best. It really is just the fact that it's I have the time to do it, but I'm curious about the TikTok community and if I will be well received if I start posting my podcast clips and stuff on there. Do other people go on there for that? Or should I just be doing the green screen layover news type TikToks? I don't know. Questions to ponder. So I'm thinking about maybe starting a Twitter to take some of my more hot takes and controversial things that I usually put my Instagram stories. I'm okay, maybe this is a little too cray-cray. Maybe I should put this over in a different platform. So I'm considering that. But my YouTube is great and is filled with all these wonderful videos of all these episodes. for about a year now, I've been trying to get this going, and I don't expect things to ever happen overnight. And I'm definitely not one of the hardest working people in the industry. I'm very self-aware about that. Like, I can always be doing more, but I really do think that I have an authentic point of view and a true desire to speak my opinions and be part of the discourse. So because of that, and like, what even is a hobby? It's like, instead of playing pickleball, like, this is what I do for fun. So it's just really, it's like, if you get it, you get it. And if you know, you know. But if you know, you know. You're here for a reason. And my show, I made this show because I really needed a platform to get out. We watch these shows, we consume all of this reality TV. We feel like we know these people, and then, but who do you talk to? I mean, these people, some of them over a decade, 2 decades of reality TV. We've been feeling like family to some of them. So I care about some of these wackadoodles just as much as I care about my own family, which is sick and twisted. If you also care that much and you need a place to just vent and hopefully hear people that have the same opinion as you, so that you can feel validated in some of the opinions, and some of the, I think, like, just feeling validated in the fact that you care, shows that other people care, shows that you're not alone, right? Shows that none of us are alone. I would have loved to record later today and have a glass of wine with you guys, but I'm actually going to be going to a yoga class, which I'm desperately in need of. So I'm going to get out and get my body moving. And I'm a yogi, I'm a yoga teacher, and I don't know why I'm speaking like Giselle. Watching too much Potomac already. Teacher. If you guys know, she always speaks like that. Like, good morning, it is me, Giselle. Hello, how are you? So again, if it's your first time here this week, the way that my show works is that it is a top 5 countdown of reality TV's most talked about moments of the week. I curate a list of what I've seen online, of mostly Instagram and the general, Page 6, Daily Mail, TMZ, the most talked about articles of news are for the week, and things that are going on reality TV, on Bravo, on TLC, Lifetime, MTV, you name it. I'm here trying to cover it all for you guys, but like I said earlier, I really don't have enough hours in the day to do so. So I try to watch as much as I can and rank it and talk about the moments that I found funny. So I have an LOL of the week every episode, and then I also have an OMG moment of the week, kind of like the peak in the pit or the rose and the thorn of your week, which is also taken Kardashian lore and some other TV shows that have also showed stuff like that for people and the families to kind of talk about the best and the worst parts of their week with their families. So I like to do that with you guys, my Bella Talks TV family, my Bellas. And after the OMG and the LOL moment of the week, I'll count down the top 5 talked about moments. We'll end with number 1. Every once in a while, I'm able to get a guest on here. And it's not that people don't want to come on. It's not that I can't do it. But my schedule is just so crazy, and sometimes it's hard to commit because we always have things come up, and I don't want to be messing with other people's schedules. So unless I know for sure I'm going to be around to be able to record, then I try to just kind of do these episodes solo for now. I always like to say, this is going to go on forever, and this is just the beginning of this. So who knows what this will look like a year from now. But that's how the show runs for now. So let's get into my LOL moment of the week, because if you guys don't know about Welcome to Plathville, I talked about it in and out this past season. This was season, I think I always forget if it was 5. I believe it was season 5. Season 6. Okay, so it was season 6 of Welcome to Plathville. And this was a really insane season. So going back to episode 1, if you guys didn't watch it, the whole season's a big LOL. So that's why I put that as my LOL moment of the week, but specifically the season finale. But let's just kind of if you've never heard of this show and this is your first time here, don't be afraid if you haven't heard of some of the shows you might hear me talking about on here. I usually try to post clips. These shows are usually easily accessed for you to be able to view these shows yourself. So don't be afraid to watch new shows too. Like if you're only watching one housewife, branch out to other cities. If you're only watching one show on Bravo, branch out to some of the other things that they offer. If you're only watching shows on Bravo, branch out to other reality TV networks. I mean, we're going to be talking about everything this week. So yeah, don't be afraid if you've never watched Plathville. Listen to me talk about it for just a few minutes and just leave me a comment and tell me what you think goes on this show. So it is a family. Kim and Barry are the father and the mother of this family of children. And I believe there are 9. And the oldest daughter does not film, but everybody else has been heavily involved in the filming of the show and in every single season of this show. Now, the oldest son, his name is Ethan. He married a girl named Olivia, who was also from a fundamentalist Christian family. That's what was kind of going on here. These families in Georgia, the Plath family, Plathville is really Cairo, Georgia. They live down there on a farm. These kids were all homeschooled. They don't know anything about the way that the world works. But now we've seen them get older, and they are leaving the farm and going out and seeing what the world is like. And the seasons have progressed very interestingly, very dramatically. And when Ethan, the oldest son, marries Olivia, Olivia decides to come in and really show Ethan, like, look, like we've both been raised in these really sheltering families, these Christian fundamentalist homeschooling families. But look, like, let's start drinking soda. Let's start having alcohol. Let's get a tattoo. Let's start like traveling and doing all this stuff. Like, basically, they start branching out, and this causes a lot of rifts in the family. Causes the parents to be rifting with the kids. It divides a lot of the different members in different directions, and it just causes havoc in the Plath family. Goes on for season after season after season until the drama comes to such a bad head and such a negative space for the family that Ethan and Olivia file for divorce, because there's no way that Kim, Ethan's mom, and Olivia, Ethan's wife, are ever going to get along. They are arch nemesis of each other. So Ethan basically is like, okay, I have to do the right thing and choose my family. I mean, not only they're not just your typical family, they are trauma bonded together. So in the process of Ethan getting divorced, Kim and Barry file for divorce, and it revealed that they have been having marriage problems. And I mean, this is shocking to a lot because they have all of these young children still that are living at home with them. And then the majority of the older children that are getting to the age where they kind of like start to see the cracks in the foundation of the family, and that they weren't this like perfect, like Partridge family band, Christian, like Little House on the Prairie, basically. They start to all grow up and be like, wow, the world is way different than we were told. So it's just really a coming of age for everybody. I'm in love with every one of the children of the family. I mean, they're all so different, and they're all pretty like jaded already and just unaware of what's up and down, honestly. Some of them are still very Christian and still are very practicing. Some of them have like totally left the church. Mariah is really one of the most known. I mean, she is the one that has all of the tattoos and is smaller. She's known for having a bold red lip, and she was just always, barely dressed on camera, and just has a huge, like, kind of like Sheena, on her forearm has rebel tattooed, and she, in this last episode holds it up and it's like the rebel's back. And I thought that this show was actually going to get canceled after this season, but specifically the season finale was so good that I'm like, there's no way they're going to end the show. TLC will keep it going. They will keep anything going as long as they get like 2,500 views a week. And I will always be one of them. So in the season finale is centered around the entire family getting together after Ethan and Olivia's divorce is final. This will be the first time like the whole family is together, and they decide to throw a concert. So I'm sure production set this up for them. We're going to have you guys do a family concert in Tampa. And Mariah's been writing songs, and the whole family had a family band, and everybody plays instruments and sings. But Mariah really is the artist and the musician in the family. And she writes secular rock music, pop rock, and that she wants to be, a household name. But there's a few problems with that. One is that there's a taste level that's missing, that I will say. And she desperately needs like a record deal and people to like invest money in her image and in the quality of the production of what she's trying to do here. Because I think she has the creativity, but she's a hot mess. And part of that is attributed to the fact that she has this toxic boyfriend that she's been broken up with for the last 8 months and has been writing all of these songs, one called Devil in a Suit and Tie. So everyone in Mariah's family the whole Plath family hates Mariah's ex. But there was one problem, is that she has gotten back together with him and has invited him to come to this concert. And once the family finds out about this, shit hits the fan. And they have a meeting of the minds a la the Real Houses of Salt Lake City finale, when they were all meeting on the beach to talk about reality Von Teese, when Meredith had the scarf dramatically and the wind was blowing. They had their moment like that on the beach. The entire family was in a circle talking about how they were going to get Mariah to leave this boy and how he could not come to the family concert and how she needs to be set free and is basically under a spell from this guy. They're not wrong. They're not wrong, except Mariah's not backing down. And she's like, I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions. Like she's down bad. She's down really bad. And we never see this guy on camera. He's supposed to be set up a few different times to have, chats with the family members, but they're all refusing to film with him. Ethan says he gets a glimpse of him in his car out in the parking lot. When they go to try to find Mariah, she goes missing. I mean, it's a whole thing. They go to find her. She's in his car in the parking lot because she has location on her phone. So they're able to locate her. And Ethan's like, he looks like Mr. Potato Head. So if this man's not hot, I think he was hiding a child. And that's a reason why she went cold turkey and broke up with him. She says now that she has all the answers. So for next season, I predict they're going to be chasing this high with Mariah and get a season out of that. And another thing that's going on is Micah's girlfriend, Veronica, is a very, what's up? What's going on with her? If you guys are watching that show, please leave me a comment with your thoughts about Veronica. I'm very curious. She wouldn't film and show her face on camera the first couple of episodes also. Then she comes on camera and she has very strong opinions and is a self-proclaimed type A type of person. In this episode, when they find out that Mariah's ex is around again, she says, hold my earrings. Like she's going to go fight him. That instantly actually made me like her. I've been hating on this girl all season. Now I kind of fuck with Veronica. Veronica sounds like a fake name, right? Like whose name is Veronica? I've never met a Veronica. That's like a fake soap opera woman name or a romantic novel name. Veronica and Micah have a joint Instagram account. All right. So and then we didn't even get to talk about Kim, who is the mother. She got a DUI off season and is now living on a houseboat with their 3 youngest daughters. So there are 4 women living in a houseboat that has no running water and no key in the ignition. So we have a lot going on over in Plathville. I don't even know where to start, but that part where Veronica said, LOL, she said, hold my ear. But that part where Veronica said, hold my earrings, and was running out to try to find Veronica. But that part when Veronica was hold my earrings and ran out to the parking lot to try to find Mariah, that was my LOL moment of the week. That was pretty good reality TV. Candy's had enough of me. Candy, where are you going? Okay, so that was my LOL moment of the week. Let's move over to my OMG moment of the week. So I was shocked to find out that over the weekend, Mary Cosby's son, Robert, who was recently compared to Stuart from Mad TV by Danny Pellegrino, and I cried. I was laughing so hard. That's a perfect way to describe him. But her son, Robert, was just admitted to rehab because he is addicted to fentanyl. So I want to make sure I don't go off vibes on this one too, that we go off of facts, and I want to get this right for you. So let's make sure we look this up. Mary Cosby. I think I know what page I read this on, but I want to make sure. Let's do, okay, we're going to do reality blurb again. Always respect a reality blurb article, the TMZ of our time. RHO SLC star Mary Cosby's son, Robert Jr., enters rehab after testing positive for cocaine, fentanyl, and marijuana amid legal issues, allegedly. So it says that he has entered rehab and has started an inpatient treatment program explaining why the only child star of the 51-year-old Real Housewives of Salt Lake City missed an August 15th court date. Okay, so he had a DUI charge that he did not show up for, and now I'm sure his only choice was to go to rehab, or he's going to jail for a long time. Okay, so let's read this. It says, missed an August 15th court hearing pertaining to a DUI charge he received in March 2022, in which Robert Jr. admitted he'd taken Oxy, Xanax, and smoked marijuana before operating a vehicle. Robert Jr., who shares with her husband, Robert Cosby Sr., who we know is her grandfather, was at an inpatient treatment facility in California. Robert Jr.'s treatment plan wasn't detailed, nor was the facility named, as his lawyer asked. He was granted a continuation of his hearing, which is currently scheduled for the end of November. So he's in rehab now, and then he's going to have to go to court when he comes out. Yikes. Okay, so it says around July 19th, which is my birthday, was the last time he was seen in public in a background of a social media video shared by Mary. The outlet also noted that Mary seemingly alluded to Robert's need for help in a post days later, in which she wrote, "God first, praying for the one I love." I mean, it says he had to do a court-ordered 10-day detox treatment and victim impact panel course. Victim impact panel course, yeah. Okay, I think I know what that means. So he is court-ordered to do random alcohol drug testing. He might have also failed that. Around that time, a non-compliant notice was filed against him on July 3rd, as counselors confirmed they had had no contact with him since a June hearing. So he had probably been being called in and was not showing up for testing. Yikers. So you guys know, if you're watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City in this recent episode, he was calling her, asking for money on Cash App to be sent to him. She had said in the recent episode, Robert is currently at home right now. He is not in college. He does ask me for money, and no, he's not working. So she basically just admitted, I just give him money. I mean, enabling is hard, especially when it's your own child. I think people think too, like, if they're going to be on drugs, it's like better they're in the house. It's like, oh, it's really hard not to, especially because Mary was mom shaming Brittany Bateman, who's one of the newbies on Salt Lake City. She said in a recent episode, she was very self-admitted about the fact that maybe she has chosen men over her relationships with her children in the past, which means that she probably just has her own issues, obviously of her own that she needs to deal with. But unfortunately, children do suffer because of stuff like this, and that's how generational trauma occurs. But I really, really did not agree with that. And I'm kind of like, I don't know, I'm not afraid to mom shame when I really think a mom is doing something kind of fucked up. Like if you guys are watching the new Potomac season that just premiered last night, Mia is getting a lot of heat because she is talking about the paternity of her son so openly and not knowing and, being a little messy on camera. So it's just not a good look. It's really not. But she's like, there's just some mom shaming and stuff going on the network lately. It's interesting that they're kind of leaving this stuff in. I think they used to have like a lot more respect between the women, and also a lot more, need to protect some of the ladies. And maybe now they're just like letting it all hang out. But I guess if you bring it to camera yourself, then that's okay. But yeah, so that was my OMG moment of the week. I was kind of like shocked to see that he was getting, being in rehab again. I mean, I'm just like reading some of the comments on this reality blurb article. Somebody says that Mary was paying people off to keep him out of trouble. Yikers. Okay, yeah, the comments don't look good for Mary. Anyways, sending love and light to Robert Cosby Jr. And with that, we'll take a quick break and then we'll get into my top 5 most talked about moments of the week. Okay, and welcome back to Bella Talks TV. We are going to get right into my top 5 countdown here. There's some funny stuff on the countdown this week, and I'm curious what you guys are thinking about some of these headlines that we're going to go over. My number 5 most talked about moment of the week is the fact that Zach Affleck is not actually related to Ben Affleck. Like, did we actually really think that they were? And just the general population, like, caring so much that they like forced this out into the news and the headlines. Like, I thought it was kind of like a throwaway thing when in the beginning they were like, oh, Jen Affleck. And then they were like, oh, second cousins. Yeah, they must be second cousins. And then in the show, they only brought him up one time when they said, when Jen was like in her talking head and she was like, my husband's going to kill me, but we're second cousins through marriage, with Ben Affleck. That was like the only time they ever brought him up. Production was the one that chose to leave her moniker up as Jen Affleck all season when she was the only Jen. We did not need the last name. So I don't know. There's just a lot of hype around whether or not they were related, but I didn't really care. It was not that deep for me, but they were, I guess, forced to do like a paternity test, or not a paternity test, but a genealogy test, like a 23andMe. And they found out they're not related at all, not second cousins, not in any way are they related to Ben Affleck, which is okay, we kind of knew that. But who they are related to is Lala, Kent, Lauren Birmingham. Apparently, Grandpa Birmingham was related to Zach's like uncle or something. Who knows really where the truth is in the bloodline, but they're related, which is really interesting. I found that to be like so random. It kind of blew my mind. And I loved that. I think it was the Instagram account at MyFamilyGenie that uncovered this, or, that's where I learned it from. But I was really shocked and awed that Zach and Lala are related, and that Lala is Mormon by heritage, I guess. Like, you can be Jewish by heritage and you can be Jewish by blood. So you must be able to be Mormon by blood. Like, you can't be Catholic by blood. You have to be made Catholic through, I don't know. It's a lot. I'm already getting too deep and caring too much about this, but I just was really shocked to find that out. I really, really found that very interesting. I haven't really caught up with Lala lately. Sheena popped up on Watch What Happens Live with Michael Rappaport, and who was he on the other night with? It was good. It was funny. Who was it? Emily Simpson. And Sheena was just a random, she must have been in New York, popped up real quick. And Andy had her on, asked her a few questions. And she said she hasn't really been talking to Ariana at all, which is not really a surprise. I'm wondering if they're starting to film. Okay, it's Monday, October 7th. Okay, Ariana's still living in New York because she's still posting. I mean, paparazzi just shot her with Dan like a few days ago. I reposted it on my Instagram. They were just kissing on the corner, holding some stuff, being normal New York City patrons. So she's still living out here. I heard a rumor, you guys. Oh my God, I heard a rumor and it blew my mind that she is in talks to play Dolly Parton on Broadway. I'll be at opening night if this is true. Mark my words. I'll pay a pretty penny for a ticket to that. I saw her in Chicago. I wish I would have saw her more than once. But I saw her once and I was grateful for that. But yeah, let's hope that those rumors are true. So yeah, that was my number 5 most talked about moment of the week. Getting a little off track there, but kind of staying in the realm there. Let's actually move on to my number 4 most talked about moment of the week, which is the fact that JAX and Brittany officially have filed for divorce. JAX has decided to represent himself in a court of law. And without the help of a legal professional, this man has been sending out incorrect paperwork saying that him and Brittany were never married, saying that, apparently he wants Brittany to have full custody of Cruz, which people are really flabbergasted by that. But that's like what every woman wants, right? Like, if he was granted any part, like if they had any type of split 50-50 custody or whatever, people would be upset about that. So Brittany wants full custody and Jax has to pay her money. I hope for Brittany that she moves on. I do. But I don't see that happening. I hate to say it. I will be very, very curious the man that dates Brittany next. I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it. I will believe it when I see it. JAX, as much as I love him, would be so annoying to co-parent with. As a stepdad to Cruz. You want to JAX with the handoffs? No, sir. I'm really happy JAX is single again. He's been hanging out with Schwartz. He's been hanging out with Kyle Cook, even though Kyle Cook's not single. What about that blind that was going around a little while ago that we were going to be really excited about, a Bravo Love couple that was pregnant? Where is this? What is this? I don't see it. Where? Like, who be it? So JAX has been filling out the wrong paperwork. I mean, I have no doubt in my mind that this is the right decision for them. I think that we're all moving forward together as a society from here, and we're going to be happy that this is going to be over. Let's move on to my number 3 most talked about moment of the week, which is the Love is Blind premiere of season 7. It is in the DC DMV area, and it's a doozy. I had low expectations. I didn't really hear too much online about it. I didn't really even know the season was coming out. And, I hate to judge a book by a cover, but sometimes they send out little like teasers of the people in like one quote from them and a headshot. And when they sent them out for this season, I was like, I'm not feeling any of these people, as a society. Ramses, I was like questioning. Hannah, I'm still questioning as a person. Leo, was he supposed to be like the heartthrob? Bowden, absolutely not. I'm glad they threw a military guy in there, and they talked about that a lot with him, but no. My personal favorites from this season are Steven and Monica, but I'm also seeing in the previews that I don't know if I can trust them. What man can you trust? I was really feeling them. Okay, so in the pods, Leo and Brittany and Hannah is kind of one love triangle that forms. Leo is this self-proclaimed millionaire art dealer because of an inheritance that was left to him from his family, and he is not afraid to tell the women this. He leads with his inheritance a lot. He talks about how he's set for life with money, and I think it's like really setting a trap. It gets Brittany. Now, I think Hannah and Leo actually did have some kind of a connection, but Leo is, I think, mentally unwell as a person. So I don't think that he should be in a relationship with anybody until he gets some help and some treatment for what I think is possibly, I don't want to diagnose. I do not want to diagnose. So let's not. But no, it's just a no for me. And so Hannah, she, without saying it, I think has been on Ozempic this last year. And a big part of Love is Blind is supposed to be this idea that you don't know what your person looks like. And they really, really are frowned upon and almost like slapped on the wrist for talking about anything to do with their appearance. You shouldn't reveal what race you are. You shouldn't reveal how tall you are. You shouldn't reveal how much you weigh. You shouldn't reveal pretty much anything. No celebrity lookalikes. We learned that last season with the Megan Fox of it all. Should not be doing that. Now, Hannah, she said she's lost like 40 or 50 pounds in the last year. We're getting the vibe that what we thought was this body positive woman coming in, being the kid, used to be a big girl, now I'm not, but like I'm still a good person type of thing. She ends up picking the guy that she thinks is going to be the hottest based on the fact that he said he was a football player. Short kings can be football players too. Short kings can be basketball players too. I've seen it. Seen crazier things. So Hannah, the jury's still out on Hannah. We have to really keep an eye on her. Now, the way that Netflix is dropping this show is they're not doing all the episodes at the same time. They've been staggering them out, like kind of 4, 2, and then the finale, and then the reunion. It's going to drag out for a little while. So we're just getting onto this roller coaster. If you have not started watching this new season yet, please do. But so Hannah and Leo, and then Brittany. Now, Brittany is this super hot, gorgeous, again, setting a trap, not supposed to be in there, not supposed to be choosing based on looks. But a lot of the guys, I think, can tell she also likes to be like, usually date men with money, date men with status, athletes. She, musicians or whatever, rock stars, guys in bands. Like, she kind of basically says, like, a self-proclaimed trophy wife, she says. Her and Leo both, like, they actually deserve each other. They truly do. They almost remind me of, like, Christine Quinn and her demon husband. Okay, so anyways. So yeah, Brittany too kind of sets a trap. Spoiler alert here. If you have not watched Love is Blind and that you want to watch and you don't want to know what happens to any of these people yet, now is your time to skip. But when it comes to Leo and Brittany, they do end up getting engaged in the pods. It's very dramatic. I'm not going to tell you the whole situation. So you are still going to have to watch. We all know the part of Love is Blind when if you get engaged, now you get to see your person, but you have to get engaged. They go in that tunnel, the doors open on that hallway, and they see each other for the first time. Right away, Leo is like so thrilled, right? Which he says that. He's like, you knew I was going to be thrilled. Like, you're hot. She's like, yeah, I knew it. Which, okay, fine. The woman's not blind. She knows she's hot, whatever. That's not a crime. The problem is that I thought that, okay, looks are not everything, but personality kind of is. So the fact that he's not hot and he has a bad personality and he has money, it's like, I think you could have money and be ugly and have a good personality. Or you can have money and have a bad personality, but be good looking. But to not have either, you're fucked. And so right away, she's like looking at him. She's like, oh my God. Oh God. And he's holding her, the back of her head, like, ew, you can just tell the body language, the language. She was not speaking the same language as this guy. So they go to leave and he's walking in the hall to go back to his like end of the tunnel. And he's like, yes, fuck yeah. Like, she's hot. Like, yeah, I'm engaged to the hottest woman alive. And she walks back into the room and she just is like, the door's shut. Black screen. Text. Leo and Brittany were not chosen as one of the 6 couples to continue their engagement in Cabo. They ended up taking their own trip to Miami instead. And from there, they ended their engagement. So we're never going to get closure. We're never going to know. Maybe until the reunion, which is going to be a month or something. Maybe longer. I don't have it in me to wait. I need to know. I need to know what happened between Leo and Brittany and how it all ended. Okay, Hannah and Nick, kind of similar situation going on. Hannah chooses Nick because she thinks he's going to be the hottest guy in the bunch. Meets him, not so much. He called himself poor man Travis Kelce. I would call it the Detroit version of Travis Kelce, like crackhead Travis Kelce. No offense to my Detroit listeners. But yeah, he's looking like he came straight out of 8 Mile. Not my style. Not my style. Hannah is not feeling it either. And then we just got to the episode where all of the couples go in Mexico to like meet each other out in the flesh for the first time. There's definitely going to be drama in the coming episodes. So that's my number 3 most talked about moment. Those are the only people you really need to care about. There are other couples that are boring, but there's going to be definitely drama to come. So make sure you're tuned in to Netflix Love is Blind season 7. Moving on to my number 2 most talked about moment of the week. We have the premiere of the Real Housewives of New York City are back. They're back, baby. Okay, so I actually love this franchise. I know a lot of people weren't thrilled when the old ladies were kicked out of the crib and they brought the new ones in. What I particularly loved about the season premiere is Jessel and Pavitt. They're one of my favorite couples on Bravo. The entire scene when they're in the subway and then going down to Carol's Bun, which I'm going to go to Carol's Bun. Like, I need to go there. I need to have those noodles in that bun with the pigeon and the air conditioner and all of the above. I need to go to Carol's Bun. Pavitt is a true food influencer. I follow him. I love his content and I love to know the hottest places in town to go and check out. So love it, Pavitt. Keep it up. One of the funniest moments is when Brynn reveals that Sai had called Pavitt Dory from Finding Nemo. Where's the lie? But Pavitt's been a really good sport about it. And the fact that Brynn aired that out on television because that was actually said in a group text. So Jessel knew that Sai had said it already and Brynn was just bringing it back up to throw Sai under the bus. And to embarrass Jessel and Pavitt a little, it was kind of fucked up. Like, I'm not feeling Brynn as much this season, which I'm surprised about. I was never like the biggest fan of her. She was always giving me like mini Sonia vibes, and I'm not the biggest Sonia fan. Sorry, not sorry. So yeah, I'm actually loving Sai too. I think that's controversial also. People don't necessarily love her. She can come off really like ornery and bitchy. And I kind of, it's not that I like that. I think that she is at least not being phony and fake, kind of like Bryn is being really sweet and like cutesy. So I really enjoyed Sai on this new season. There's just something about her. She's been to therapy in the off season, and she came back knowing that Jessa was a fan favorite. And it really, I kind of just like, I don't know, there's something about her vibe that is making me just like her this season. She's a little unhinged, but in a way that is reading to me that she came to play. She came to play ball. And I think in real life, the girls like her. And I don't like that it has to be Sai or Bryn. I really hate these like manufactured feuds and these like verses, like this person versus this person. I really hate that. I really try not to choose, but I'm just naturally leaning towards Sai in this one, which is really shocking me. So yeah, the whole second season, I mean, Aaron and Abe have some drama going on. Uba, again, like, how do you guys feel about Uba? Like, let me know in the comments too. Like, do you guys like Uba, or do you think that she's also doing too much? Like, I think that her and Chanel both are doing too much to be housewives. It's like almost like they studied and watched every single Housewives season ever, and then they both made their way into Housewives, and now they're just like cosplaying housewiving. Because they're always doing too much. They're like really always doing way too much. So yeah, that was really my number 2 most talked about moment of the week. And that brings us to my number 1 most talked about moment. We're already here. So thank God I didn't go on for 2 hours this week like I did last week. So my number 1 most talked about moment of the week this week is the return of the Real Housewives of Potomac. So seeing a lot of different discourse online already. The first episode just came out, and Karen, the Grand Dame herself, was on Watch What Happens Live last night. And I'm also going to be a virtual caller on Watch What Happens Live. They messaged me and they gave me a couple different options, and I responded to them to tell them which ones I would prefer to do. Aaron was one of them from RHONY. Another option was going to be Ashley Darby on Potomac, which spoiler alert, I don't know if I have to do an NDA for this, but they give you the question. So I don't get to ask my own question. They're going to give me a question to ask. So we'll see what it's going to be. But the real most talked about moment is Karen and Shannon. Karen and Shannon's dueling DUIs. And I'm just not getting it. Like, I need my community to rally around me right now and like help me see the light, because I see so many people ripping my sweet Kern apart. I mean, this woman is elderly. Wait, I want to know how much older. Are Karen and Shannon the same? It was revealed on Watch What Happens Live that Karen texted Shannon after her DUI in support, and Shannon didn't even text her back. I really don't like Shannon, you guys. It's been so hard for me. The Real Houses of Orange County reunion filmed yesterday, and Tamra posted this hilarious thing to her. It's Miley Cyrus from her Miley Cyrus tour back in the day. And I'm going to play it for you guys. You guys know I love to do that. It's Miley. And then Tamra posted this after the reunion, and it says, "That's a wrap with the orange," and then hashtag Rosie. But this is the video. These motherfuckers, I swear, they tried to kill your famous, your favorite bitch. They tried to fucking kill me. That is too good, Miley. They tried to kill me. These motherfuckers tried to kill me. I don't know what went down at the reunion, but I'm really excited to find out how Tamra was able to hold her own and hopefully come out on top. I really, really hope it. I really, really hope that something goes down. I hope it's a good reunion. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, back to Potomac. They're really harping on Karen. They do a whole reenactment, a staged reenactment of her DUI. Then everybody in the whole episode's talking about it, bringing it up to her. Then she goes and watch What Happens Live, and Andy's like, "Oh yeah, what's her relationship with alcohol, blah, blah, blah." And am I just having amnesia that I feel like none of this happened with Shannon? Like, I don't recall anybody pushing and asking her I just remember everybody feeling sorry for her, saying that they feel pity for the fact that she's going through a lot. And Karen went on to explain her mom had just died, her parents, she's dealing with grief, like all this stuff. I don't know. I love Karen. She didn't hurt anybody either. She got a DUI too. They did the exact same thing. I just think there is such a disproportionate reaction going on. And it's making me feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I did not miss Robin and I did not miss Candace. They both needed to go to me. So I'm glad to see them gone. I'm hoping I'm going to like Giselle a little bit more this season and watching her and Karen kind of bond. And it looks like they're going up against Ashley. It seems like Ashley now is the one that's going to be in messy boots and going after Karen the most. And then we again have everything I said about Mia. Justice for Gordon. Hashtag justice for Gordon. I do not like messy Mia. And all of this ink stuff. I loved when Karen called him DJ Applebox because he has to stand on a crate to be as tall as her. They called her out for walking behind him in photos so that they would look the same height. Dead. So good. Potomac surprised me. It really surprised me last night. I'm a Dr. Wendy fan too. I don't know how and I don't know why. I'm glad she's back, and I'm excited to see how she also does without Candace and without having Robin around. I want to see her just LOL. She quit the professor job. She's trying to shed Dr. Wendy, and I will not let her do it. I'm really, really feeling good about this season. Stacy, a newbie, I liked her. She seems like she's getting into the mix. I don't like that they brought back Jacqueline. The Bravo fandom is always begging for these people to come back. Jacqueline, I can't contain. We're watching a video. I can't contain my disgust. Jacqueline, we did not need. That Kiana girl, absolutely fucking not. We do not need her either. Then people are asking for Gretchen back. People are begging for Gretchen, and now Kelly Dodd. All of this is sickening to me. All of it is just totally appalling to me. I was shocked. I really hope. Karen was not messing around. I loved that part in that scene when they get together for her birthday and Giselle's, trying to be shady. And she says, did everyone gather here today to be my enemy or to be my friend and to help me and support me? Because I will not be sitting down at the table with fake bitches. And she just calls everybody out. If you're going to talk shit about me behind my back, you are not going to sit down and film with me. Fine. Because without the Grand Dame, this group's going to fall apart. They need her. We need Karen. That franchise is not strong enough. She is the Nene. She is the Kyle Richards. She is the whatever. She needs to be there. They're not having Giselle just be the only lead in that show. She's not strong enough. She's not well liked enough. She probably doesn't test well enough. Even though I guess Reasonably Shady is a real podcast. Is it? Okay, I just want to check before we wrap up here. This is not my strongest episode, probably, to be honest. That's okay, because they can't really all be. Okay, so you guys, that was my top 5 countdown of the week. Like I said, this episode was a little crazy and a little out there. I wasn't feeling my best. I've got stuff going on with Candy. I've got things going on today. But it really was important for me to sit down and discuss this stuff with you guys. Please, please, please leave me a review. Share this episode. Like my posts. I really need the support. I really need the fuel from you guys to keep going on this. I need it. I have dropped out of the ranking of the charts. I'm still ranked in Vietnam. The people in Vietnam love me. All right. Shout out to my Vietnam listeners. I love you guys. I'm going to come there. I'm going to come do a live show there if I can get enough people together. I'm always on the Apple Podcast Vietnam charts. I really appreciate it. But that's pretty much it, you guys. This was kind of a weird week. I'm going to be here in New York all week. I'm going to go and see DJ James Kennedy this Saturday, God willing. He's DJing a small set here in New York. Then when I'm in Vegas next week, I'm also staying at Fountain Blue, which is where he's a resident DJ. So I'm also hoping to see him there too. So pray for me to have lots of DJ JK in my future. If you're not watching Plathville, go catch up. If you're not watching Jersey Shore, I didn't get to that this week. It's good so far this season. Go watch all of the things. DM me, message me if you have any questions about what else you should watch. Leave me comments. Leave me reviews, leave me 5 stars. Please go support. And I hope you guys all have the best week ever. I love and appreciate every single one of you. Ciao, Bellas.